Welcome to Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham, my partner, Albert Kemp. And Albert, we do a lot of football, a lot of basketball in here, but we try to give their due to wrestlers, runners, cross-country people, throwers, whatever. And we have a case here where Braden Murray.
Pretty sweet.
It is.
Yeah, we have a lot of kids that go to schools around this area that are really outstanding athletes in high school. But when they go to Division III, George and I have made a decision a long time ago that we wouldn't highlight that because they're non-scholarship. Now, we know how good they are.
Yeah. And there'd be too many.
And there's a million of them.
You would just be reading names the whole half hour.
Yeah. But Braden Murray is going to the University of Memphis for cross-country and track teams. Somebody might write into us and tell us how good they are in cross-country and track. I'm not sure. But I know they are a Division I school. I know that. So when I see Division I, and I know Brett Murray holds the cross-country record for the fastest time in school history. So I know he's an outstanding runner, and we want to share any local kids. Please write into Armstrong, our producer Greg. We'd love to have ADs, coaches, parents, grandparents. Tell us about some of your kids in this area. We like to highlight them, no question about it. Back to football, Kingpin, the king of our area, football. Warren JFK just named a new coach. Congratulations to Damon Buente for taking over the Eagles program. 11 years of experience at Canfield and Western Reserve, and was on the Warren JFK staff. I see that a lot of happen, George, that they're bumping up coaches on the offensive and defensive coordinator jobs. Just instead of going out and interviewing 40 guys.
The thing about it, you can look at it both ways. You can, if you're skeptical, say, oh, yeah, another blah, 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 blah,
right.
Coach's nephew's cousin's brother or sister. Mm-hmm. But on the other side, rewarding loyalty and rewarding people that have been with you, and they've done well. Now, same with South Range. They've done well. Now, you tell me somewhere 0-10, 4 years in a row, I may want a new start.
So I think George described that perfectly, that last line. When somebody's involved in a culture of doing it right and getting success by winning games, the kids seem to buy in. They'll say, wow, I can't believe they got rid of Coach Buente when he's called the defense for this and we won whatever. But if you're an offer for 4 years straight, it is time to get new blood, I think. I really do. And David Roch is the new head coach at South Range. He's part of that great run, 6 years as defensive coordinator and under Coach Dan Yeagley. And so we know that both these schools are going to continue the same way of doing things, and that means trying to win games. And good luck to both coaches. In golf, in Division II, in NCAA Division II, big news locally. The golf course, local Avalon Lakes, is getting the tournament next year in 2023. And when you look at Georgia, when you look at that, how great is that?
That is a big deal.
Yeah, for local. I remember the last time I was there.
Yeah, the girls.
For the girls. For the women.
I remember.
I was
like
there.
It was yesterday. It was years ago.
And I had to look it up. See, it was 2000.
Yeah.
It was 20 years. It feels like it was yesterday. And Bob Hannon was doing the tournament, and I did some intern work with him on that part of for a class I was taking 23 years ago. And it's the last time the LPGA tournament was there. They've been in 8 different places since. So last year was interesting. I had to look it up and see where the tournament was played at. It was played at TPC, Michigan, which is a big course on a tour. It's a private in Dearborn, Michigan. So Avalon has really hit big on this one.
It's a boost for the community, too. You figure 144 golfers. Now you're talking 250 parents, not to mention the golf fans. And there are golf fans.
A lot of hotels get picked up. Yeah.
I mean, this can only be good.
Yeah, I agree. And so we want to highlight that because many times we don't get to highlight golf either. So we hit cross country and golf today. We've already hit our football. Now we go to basketball. Youngstown State had Oklahoma State on the ropes, and they got the value of another home game. George, what was the reason Oklahoma State had
wrestling?
They had wrestling. Okay, wrestling. And so
they had to watch our boy get pinned in the semifinals.
Yes,
I've never been so stunned. It came across the crawl.
I was there when you saw it.
And I was like, no, there's a mistake.
Talking about the kid from Iowa, I mean, it's amazing. 69-64, the Penguins went down to Oklahoma State, led by 8.
Yeah.
in the second half. Couldn't finish it off. What a year they had, 24-10. First time ever in the NIT. Some history making. A lot of guys to replace now. And there's a lot of guys to replace him, George. That portal has over 1,000.
400 the first day.
Yeah.
They're over 1,000.
There's 1,000.
Now, you know, this, once again, you don't need to be Pythagoras. They're not all getting.
Right.
Let's get that a minute, you people that are listening. They're not all getting jobs. I know it's the grass is greener thing. I get it.
Right.
But also common sense. Do you have, like a guy the other day was on line somewhere talking about, he said, if you really want to get a scholarship for sure, get your grades up. That's a guarantee.
That's a guarantee.
This other one, you might get to St. Joe's and they have a point guard, a good one.
They will have a good
They may have
one.
two.
Yeah. Looking at this portal, some of them, not all of them, as George has made it clear, have been contacted already. And I guarantee YSU has scoured that list and said, here's the 6 that we need to get. These are the 6 guys we need to get. And you look for guys averaging 17.3 a game, 10 rebounds a game, who are disgruntled with their coach. Like, that's happened. In the old days, George would leave. They would leave because they didn't play.
I saw one the other day, came across underneath. He caught 84 passes for 1,000. I said, what could he be mad about?
Exactly.
He's getting paid.
I know.
There's nothing to do with ire or any type of angst. He's getting paid.
Yeah, and I don't think, I'm not sure of this. This is me just opinionating on this. But I don't think Youngstown State has that big of NIL money that they're saying, okay, if you come here, you're going to own 3 hotels.
And I told you this. I told you this way back when. I know some rich people. 2 things I'm certain about. 1, they didn't get it by giving it away.
Right.
It's just common sense. And 2, they want a rate of return on their investment.
They want it
okay,
back.
I gave your quarterback that Maserati. How many Maseratis did I sell?
That'll be the key.
In other words, at some point, these are businessmen.
Right.
These are not all. Now, some of them are just downright foolish, like the dude that owns the Mets.
Right.
He's off.
He doesn't carry out so much.
No, well, yeah, that too.
Yes.
And but I'm thinking to myself, let's do something for homeless vets. Let's do something.
Nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, let's help. You know how many of the bankruptcies are medical?
Well,
In other words, if you have that kind of money, and like now I wasn't thinking of that, but you got me thinking. If you have that kind of money and you really don't care, do something for society.
It would be a lot better, wouldn't it?
The Mets are going to win it. We just know.
They're winning anyway.
You saw what happened to Diaz the other day.
Yeah.
My God. Hey, by the way, I tore that.
So that's the same you know how it feels.
Let me tell you about it. You know this idea.
You went through it. You know
this
how it feels.
idea that he might be back? No. I said to the guy, remember now, I have no clue.
Right.
The lady looks at it and said she never saw one, so I knew we weren't off to a good
Right.
start. So he comes in, and when he's all done, my buddy went with me because I needed some help. He says, how long will it be before he bends it? Did he say walk?
Right.
6 months.
To just bend it.
Bend it. I didn't say walk.
Wow.
Yeah, so this guy's
This is serious.
Yeah, no, now he'll have the best of
He will.
treatment. And
Still, it's serious.
That's it. Yeah, when you tear that thing off, let's start. We have to talk about this because it was in the headlines before. You and I had done a show 2-3 weeks ago where Kershaw and his people and the insurance company and whomever, they couldn't get together on just what compensation, because you can't throw these guys out there if they hurt that arm. Now the Dodgers, who are paying bazillions, I know that's not a word, we'll make it up for the show. What do you do? So they came out again Saturday night, USA versus Venezuela. One of my favorite guys because of his stature. He gets a pitch on the thumb, 2 months out. Altuve.
Yeah, when you look at it, I try to keep up on why they do this, and they would rather play in this than Major League Baseball. That, you understand? They think.
See the crowds?
They think this is the greatest.
Yeah.
Well, they call it like the miniature Olympics.
It is.
The
Olympics is pros. Hey, remember the line?
You're representing your country.
Remember what Coach K told him? He said, "You don't play for the United States. You are the United States."
Yeah, so that's them. And so to tell them they can't play, they would just look at you and say, You can tell me.
Yeah, but
I'm going to play.
Yeah.
But what happens is that could happen at any time. Those injuries could.
Yeah, 95-mile-an-hour fastball gets loose.
Right.
It hits you in the thumb.
And he's out
It's
2
not
months.
like you could have strong thumbs. Like
No.
you could be built up in the torso,
Right.
and you get hit in the thumb, or you get hit in the ear. You don't have strong
And
ears.
also when you're batting, that thumb
Yeah,
injury
yeah,
is
it's
like
right.
is one
Yeah,
of the
you're
worst,
done.
One of
Yeah.
the worst things
I
you could
remember
have.
one time, and I thought to myself, I wonder how that would affect. And I couldn't even squeeze. I said, well.
I'll tell you how it affects you. Tonight, try to eat without your thumbs.
Yeah, see how that works.
works.
Yeah, see how that. You think you're about with chopsticks?
Yes.
But no, let's talk about it. He's making huge money.
Yeah.
Astros over under 97.5. That's going down, by
Has
the way.
to.
Yeah. Wish I'd have jumped on that first. I got a text from one of our buddies, Ray. Ray was down at the Red Sox game. Yeah, he sent me a picture of Shelby in the dugout. Sent me a little caption, beer shower.
yes.
Said,
Oh, no.
Shelby
He
was in the
he'll get
dugout
you.
with his son.
He'll get you.
Oh, yeah, I want to see what he does
Yes,
first.
uh-huh.
But anyhow, he makes big money. Kershaw, the same thing. Now, my question is to Al, the logical one. Is there a better time to play it? If you play after,
I'd like to ask them that.
I'll say this.
What is the reason?
Well, the guys that are done would be more than a month out.
That's what I'm saying. They can
In other
still
words,
play.
if the season's over October 3rd,
Yeah.
they're still playing World Series in November.
I didn't know it was the weather. That's what I was asking.
Oh, that's another thing. No, there are enough
I'm not
places
sure.
to play.
As
They
I
can
said.
play in Mexico.
Yeah,
they
I
can
think they're
play
finding
in
places.
Australia,
right? Yeah.
whatever. They
Okay.
can. But you know what? You just said something interesting when you introduced it. The crowds. Like, you think the players are excited. The crowds are crazy.
Yeah, they're all in.
You go Wednesday night to a baseball
They're
game.
all in.
They were, we're down in Florida where no one goes.
Right.
But let me say, if you'd have said to me, who will be in the finals, U.S. wouldn't have been my first pick.
No, they're happy to be in there. Yes, they're very happy.
I was looking to
big
many
hits.
conventions.
Big hits. You get those big hits. And
The
that's what happens.
Turner.
Yeah.
2 days
That's all
in
it
a row
takes
or
is them
something.
big hits. Yeah.
Is that the one that's going to Phillies?
Yes.
Yikes. How about that?
They still need pitching.
How about that division, though?
I know it's a good
Mets,
division.
Phillies, Braves.
Yeah.
You could be pretty
You
good
like
there.
Miami? You said.
Yeah. It's not that I like them I like their number.
That's what I
'Cause
mean.
they're playing everybody else
Right.
more.
They're not
stuff.
playing as many in that league.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, that was 19. Those 57 games.
Yes,
Good
we're
mark.
killers.
All right, let's talk about NCAA hoops. We said it. We were here. We might not have been dead on which team, because I don't know that we'd had Arizona or Kansas out, but I do know this. We said many could win. Now, was one of them Princeton? Probably not. Was one of them FDU? Definitely not. But this is what we have right now. Let's talk about that a little
Oh, we
bit.
were adamant about that. And George would question me all the time, thinking I was making the number too big.
Yeah.
And I says, no, I think it's 20. I thought it was 20.
I said 8 to 12, and
Yes.
he said, "Oh no." I said, "What are you talking
Like,
about?"
there's no reason why, right now, as you look, remember, there's only 16 left.
Yeah,
There's 2 that can't win it.
yeah.
Princeton and FIAU.
Let me tell you something.
The other
bro.
14 can
Let
win
me tell you something.
No, I said all
Yep.
14
Yeah.
can win
Let
it.
me tell you something that you're going to not, because we had this discussion on the radio a couple weeks ago, and he's telling me how much he likes Tony Bennett's teams, which is fine. Watch Princeton once. Now, you know the little things that we teach that these great guys don't have to do, catching the ball with one hand.
Right.
And going, well, now I'm going to talk about coming to meet the ball. Lifting up, get your head through the trap.
Yeah.
Faking. I haven't seen a pass fake till I put the TV on.
And most times the talent
When, yeah.
beats them anyway.
Absolutely.
You know?
No, that's Houston the other day.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Houston was if Northern Kentucky.
You're right.
I said if they had one more guy. But what bothered me, let's just talk about that game briefly, because I wrote in. I said to the guy, I said, you had 5 days. You knew who was playing. You didn't call Youngstown. You didn't call Milwaukee. You didn't call
called every
Wright
one of them.
State. She said, what is that defense? Because I'm going to tell you what, Albert, he didn't know.
No, and he still doesn't know.
No. He knows he won. That's all he knows.
Yeah, and Samson can win the national championship. That's proof.
Yeah.
He can win the national championship. Still doesn't know what defense.
He was so befuddled. He was writing like names
Focus.
like focus, concentrate, penetrate. You know why?
Hustle.
Because he didn't know what to show them.
Yeah, he didn't.
And then the other two, and I love Raftery because he's just irreverent. He's funny, 70+ years old,
He knows his basketball too.
but he didn't know this one. And
Yeah.
let me tell you what, Grant Hill knew less.
They didn't know what to say about it. huh?
No, because he didn't know what it was.
Right.
And I'm thinking, don't you call the other teams in the league and say, hey, I'm seeing something on film. What is this?
Right.
You played it.
Should have.
You played it.
Yeah, I tried to play it with people who didn't know what it was. That's why.
No, but see, your guys don't know either. That's the problem.
Yes.
It's hard.
Yes.
But I'm going to tell you right now, that was the coaching job of the tournament.
Yeah.
And he lost.
Yeah. He lost. He said he went home.
Yeah, he went home.
Yep.
But the other guy,
Yes. And
what
Princeton's still playing.
Hey, let me tell you what, the quickness and the ability to move their feet sideways, get up under somebody, my Lord.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to score. That's why that's why there's so many unders.
We don't see that, you know that.
It's hard to score.
Around here.
Never.
We don't see that.
Never.
You know, no, absolutely. Let's talk about it, though, the bus. We have to talk about the bus. You know, and Al and I talk about this. We both played strictly man-to-man. But, how about a big but? I'm going to put a big letter.
Yeah.
B-U-T. If it meant winning the game, I'd have put my head in a ringer.
Yeah, you have to try.
What did the Purdue coach say? We don't play zone.
Yeah,
Guess what, buddy?
sense.
You ain't playing.
It happens on every
This
game.
is 4 times for him now.
I wrote to you.
Yeah.
I wrote to you.
Well, tell him when you went to Notre
They
Dame.
all
Tell him
play.
the story.
Yeah, they said, I asked you, how you going to beat Syracuse? He said, well, dig in more. I said, we're going to lose again, so I just walked out of the room. You got to have plan B in place, especially in a one and done.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. During the year, you could
just working on
torture your
something.
guys on
something,
working on your slides and all.
Yeah,
No
no question about that.
No, the Purdue getting beaten by a 16, and Arizona losing to Princeton.
Just happens. It happens to all coaches.
Yeah.
You can't predict missed free throws. You can't predict.
Okay, but
you can't predict any of these things.
You're Matt Painter.
Right.
4 times it happened.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a meeting? My first thing, I can't. I said, Coach, you need to look in the mirror. This I don't play zone stuff, you're not playing at all, number one. Number 2, is your staff all yes men? In other words, is anyone in that meeting afraid that, hey, Coach, we need to get out of this because they're putting the 7-4 guy in pick and roll
and
over. Tearing them up.
Happened over and over, I know. They didn't hurt him down the other end. That's my biggest cry.
8 minutes.
You have to make them pay with the 7-4 guys getting dunks.
8
minutes. And they didn't score. They didn't put it down to his hands. They didn't get the ball in his hands.
No, I'm asking.
I know it's hard. I didn't say it was easy.
I didn't know.
I didn't say
we
it was
were
easy.
coaches. I hate to, get after a coach, but when it happens 4 times.
Yeah, I know.
And they say, well, then,
how it happened.
Yeah. Then you say the big guy didn't get a shot the last 8 minutes.
Yeah, that's hard.
Now I'm done with it. I don't want to hear anything else.
That's hard. And think about it. They won the league.
Easy.
And they won the tournament.
Easy.
Yes, think about that.
No, but I'll tell you what, the ability not to break a press showed itself in the league. In the last 2 days.
That's why.
Rutgers and Penn State
they
both.
don't see
And give that kid credit. He came right out pressing. Absolutely. Now, Kansas knocked out. Bill Self not being there didn't help, but it wasn't why.
Well, they lost to a good team.
Yeah.
They were dead equal. They can say they're number one, but Arkansas and Kansas played 10
When
games.
Arkansas was playing.
Yeah, they're 5-5. There's no question about that.
And getting a stent like that the week before, I wouldn't think he should be anywhere near excited.
He did it smart. If he wants to coach for a long run,
Yeah.
he made a good decision.
Yeah, I agree. You think the same. Then there's no way you show up for that. And I agree the same thing. Now, how about Duke? You're not surprised. They weren't that good.
Not as good as everybody had them built up.
Now, they were better in Virginia.
Yeah.
They were better than North Carolina, but they were not.
They were not big time better. It wasn't like they were winning by 30 points. They both beat by 8 and 7. It's just it's modern basketball. I'm telling you, anybody could lose at any time.
Yeah.
There's nothing surprising me about any of these games.
Some guy called our show the other day too and made a good point. He said the good guys don't stay.
Yeah, they don't.
Now the older graybeards, the 22 and 3-year-olds they're the guys that are
that were not great enough to go to the NBA, but
exactly.
are very, very good.
Exactly.
But are very good.
How about yesterday? I never had my phone. We've been around a long time. My phone yesterday. Kansas State point guard.
Best
you said
guard
the best
I saw
guy
here.
you saw here.
Yes. See, I don't see Kansas State play.
I understand.
I knew they had the Johnson kid from Florida who hit the big shot in the game.
Yep.
But the Knoll kid, he was third-team All-American. I could see why. I mean, he's having to be 5'8", but there's nothing you can do with him. He can shoot.
He's lightning and he can shoot.
And he plays D like crazy. Yeah.
Now Kentucky being that makes me happy. That's my boy. I never seen anybody that does less with more. The year he won was the old guys' players. He hasn't won since. When you look at it, There's nothing he could have that he doesn't have. In other words, if he wants to fly somewhere, like Newcastle, I'm watching him play, and it's like 4:45. You said you're going to the game. And I thought to myself, I said, Cal's going to be there.
He was.
And he was.
He got in the plane.
Private Jane said, yeah, just to not take Shoeboy, who ended up being his best player for 2 years.
Yeah, Oscar's something special. I'm watching.
Still blaming him for stuff. Like he doesn't know the plays. What do you have, 20-some and 14?
Oh, yeah, he's a man-child.
You can't guard him.
He's a man. Well, just a man-child on the board. He's not a great offensive player, but he goes against every rebound.
No.
Every
You
rebound.
get 20-some points and 14, 15 rebounds.
Always.
You had a heck of a day.
Yes.
Hey, let me ask you about this. Big East, 3 left. And that's without their best team.
Yeah.
Marquette they ran into one of those Izzo playoff games.
Yes.
You don't want that game.
Yeah, he hasn't. He only has one national championship, but he always seems to get to this par.
He has the most.
He gets this
He has the
far.
most.
Yeah,
I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I figure he
Has
had
the
to be
most.
close to
You know,
it.
he broke K's record or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's the only guy left in the Big Ten. Think of that.
Yeah.
All that's supposed to be so good.
Now, here's a stat that we have harped on for months. Plan A. Plan A, 3-point shooting. Fine. I understand 3 beats 2. 30% for the tournament.
And they'll keep
And
firing
they'll
them.
keep right on firing.
So that's the
25
game
more.
today. They're not changing, and I don't care what. We could have 40 coaches line up right now, and say we'll still take our chances shooting threes, and you go out. That's why Kentucky went out.
Yeah.
Kentucky's home for one reason. The kid, 40% shooter, went 1 for 13.
Missed his first 11 now.
Yeah, I'm saying, how can you sit there and think this kid's got to make him? He's going to shoot 40%.
Yeah.
He kept missing
Yeah.
and missing and missing.
You just can't drive the
over.
And who was saying? Oh, was it Sean? Somebody I gave credit to. They said the other team's game plan. Oh, Davy Richards at Chatham.
Okay.
Yeah, they were known for threes. And he knew they were going to basically run him off the line, which means you don't
shoot the three.
You don't. Yeah. He drove to the hoop and won the game.
Yeah,
I thought,
and pulled
now
up
that's
and shot
coach.
some medium- shot some
that
medium pull, yeah.
is coach, and
Right.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I heard this. I don't listen to these idiots. Remember, they were all fired. Let me say that again. Seth Greenberg, fired. Fran Fraschilla, fired. All of them, fired. Tom Crean, Adam. So when you listen to them, that's on you. But let's say this. Vital already making, the minute the game was over, he's making excuses for Calipari.
That's his guy, yeah.
And it used to be
It's automatically.
Coach
You
K.
have to ignore him because
It used
he
to
has
be.
certain guys he really likes.
Yeah,
no question,
absolutely.
yes.
Which I understand, but if you're there, do the job. Oh, by the way, let me say this. For as ragtag as the NIT is, they don't know who's playing, what date, where the game is. They got some pretty good teams left.
Oh no!
Yeah.
they could all be successful. In the tournament.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's when I
And the
noticed.
depth and there's no great team.
Now, when you start paying $50,000, I got to cross you off.
Yeah.
Now you
For
went a
CBI.
step. Yeah, you went a step too far. Any thoughts on Cal, Tony Bennett, or Matt Painter having to make any changes at all?
Yeah, my thought was this, and I
Because you're nicer than I
well,
am.
usually I don't see. I don't
Okay.
see. This time I looked and I said, "Oh, George is going to ask me a question." Here's my thought. I had one team that I was the best team. I know you had one team.
Yep.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Neither one of us won.
Yeah, we didn't lose 5 times.
But I didn't say that.
Okay.
Either one of us won.
Yeah.
There's that one and done.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
so
Yeah.
hard. It
Yeah.
is. It is so difficult. All it takes is a 0 for 14,
Yeah.
and you're going home.
But what I'm saying, if it happened once, I'm not saying a word.
But it could happen to me 4 times. I'm not saying
Yeah,
it
but it
couldn't happen.
didn't.
But I didn't get there 4 times
Yeah,
like that.
I
It
know.
could. That's NCAA tournament. It's the only time it will happen there. Like you play 7 games,
Best of 7.
they're
best team
they're
wins.
still playing.
Yeah, I get
But
it.
that one game, that's all it takes.
Oh, no, I agree.
Remember the guy who shot the ball laying on the
Wasn't-
ground
you
against
just picked it up.
No.
Yeah.
They're
But
saying,
see,
well,
yeah. But if that happened to me 3 more times, I'd say, geez, I had the best team 4 times.
yeah, but I bet you wouldn't have changed anything. You would have said, this is
I
what
don't-
happened.
I don't know.
I know you wouldn't.
But I know
you
one
believe
thing.
in Garden that
this
way.
Painter's got to change something.
Yeah.
He has to change
Yeah,
something.
but Purdue's not ever been to the Final Four since.
I didn't know, 1980.
I'm saying, so Purdue's not a powerhouse.
No, well-
he's doing a great job
Well,
there.
see, I don't-
I'm
yeah.
watching Purdue play
Yeah.
and think, they're not enough.
See, I
for
look
us.
and think, if
I
he-
think the TV has made them think
But
they're
if he
pretty
has
good.
a 7'5" guy, he's got to put shooters around him. Or he thought he had shooters.
I thought he had shooters.
The kid from Butler never was a shooter.
No.
Everything he made was 2 feet away.
Yeah. And he didn't play a lot either. This year he did.
No, he did. No,
Yeah,
and
he
he
did.
benched him at the end, too. NFL trades, last week was the week. You'd have to have an abacus.
And you don't know which one's going to work and not which one's not going to work.
No, again, the guy might be damaged goods and you don't know
You
it.
don't know. Trades, drafts,
Yeah.
that's another lottery.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
well,
another
we're
one
going
you're-
to talk about
you're not
that.
sure of.
We got 5 weeks for that. But it seemed like most teams are trying to get under the cap in case
That's
they can
true.
get that one guy.
That's true.
They said this guy at Pittsburgh's like Houdini
Oh,
with the cap.
he better be.
Yeah.
Because they're lousy.
Yeah, well. Rodgers to the Jets, is that pretty much certain?
Yeah, it's done.
He's just,
Why does he do this?
because he's a
does he do
egomaniac.
this?
Have you ever heard, you've heard, he's an egomaniac. There's the only way to describe
It has to be.
The word narcissist.
Like, get it done.
Have you ever looked the word up, narcissist?
but-
Well, his picture's there. Him and your boy. Now, Jimmy G to Vegas. Do they,
He's not as good as Carr.
that was my question. Do they think he's better than
No,
Carr?
he's not. I've seen him play under pressure.
I said that too.
I know. He's not better
So
than
it
Carr.
wasn't just me. That was my next question.
Yeah, I have no idea why they think Carr was George was on Carr first.
I
And
like
I follow him. He's a good player.
Pretty good. Here's what I got for you. This is going to bring a smile to your face. The minute Rodgers goes to the Jets, Belichick's number 4 in that league.
Is he really?
Who?
Like a
Bills?
Buffalo.
Miami?
Yeah, he is.
He is.
He is.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Boy, bring old Thomas Brady back. It's
They'd be up there real quick. I'm number one.
Let's talk about Major League Baseball. Week and a half, Al?
I know. I'm excited about that.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about
and
that.
you got to be excited.
I'm excited because the weather's changing.
Yeah.
I'm excited that baseball. That means that
Hey,
weather.
by the way,
80 degrees out
Monday,
there.
5 o'clock, first day of spring, official. Mine is in 2 weeks with the Masters. When the Masters hits
said
it
it all
all,
the time.
and I hear those birds
hit
in the
home.
background,
Yes.
I'm like, it is now springtime. Between now and then, you're on your own. You know what I'm saying? You could have that day, you're like, Jesus, he said it was going to be nice out today. But no, let's talk about that baseball. But as false as it may be,
It's false.
every
totally.
team has hope.
No, they don't. They're
For
lying.
the Pirates.
They're lying.
You are thinking deep.
They're
Maybe
lying.
you can catch fire or something.
No, I never.
No,
I
you
can't
just
say that.
you can't beat the big spenders. We've talked about. We have a buddy who argues with a kid who played for me. Nice kid.
Sneak one in.
We love him, but he'll argue with us that the big spending doesn't matter, and
He's wrong.
there'll be 9 teams.
Everybody
in-
thought Houston and Atlanta are not big.
Oh,
Look
no,
how much money them,
no,
them
no.
San Francisco, Atlanta, San Francisco, and Houston.
No.
They don't consider
No.
them. They're
Yeah.
big spenders.
Sometimes one little guy sneaks in, but more often than not. Still no word. I talked to a guy who works at the Pirates station, so to speak. He thinks they're going to work this thing out. As of now, MLB is willing to take it over.
So
the
they
local
think that
telecast.
the root sports. is
Something's
still
going to.
okay.
It won't be root.
Oh, it won't be root. Okay.
Yeah.
But we're
NCAA
still going to see games. Though.
Yeah, we're going to see.
Okay.
NCAA football. Where's all the news? Off the field, and that's the problem.
Yeah, the offseason.
Because I just look and I think to myself, if it weren't for preferential treatment when these guys run a foul, it would be 24/7 underneath and on the crawl.
You're right there, George. And I just don't like. I don't like coaches that just lie. And
no.
and that's my thing. That's my thing.
They all. I'm not going to LSU.
You know that they say
Yep.
he's a good kid. He put a gun on the seat. He was going 112
Yeah.
at 3 o'clock in the morning.
112. He's a good kid. You know what hurts is that I tell Birchie over there, it kills the good kids when you call, because now
There's
when
a lot of
someone
great kids
is
out
good,
there.
he's not one
He's
of them.
not one of them, though.
No,
Yes.
no. Hey, last thing. NCAA voted last week. We had a guy on our radio show. They're going to try to make it more like the pro games, fewer snaps.
Under.
It's okay, but don't say it's for safety. Because they'll add 5 games in a
No,
minute.
they'll play
if
30
make-
games. They have to.
Hey, thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. We'll see you next week.